We're back on the Vicky Gotti show, and I'm just live in Baltimore, and I just was hanging out all day with my Brista Beyonce. Shout out to Beyonce Ebony. I had a good time with her, and I'm in her hometown in Baltimore, and I'm here with the legendary, one of the master of Vogues, Tamara ex Revlon, now Mother Ebony. Hey, Tamara. I'm so glad.
Hi, everybody.
Yes, Tamara, you're finally here.
I'm here.
Yes. Now, Tamara, I just want to start off from people who don't probably know you, but I'm pretty sure everybody knows you from State to State. But what is your category and how long you been out?
I came out back in '96. I'm originally from New York. I moved to Baltimore about, I want to say, May 2000. So it's been about 12 years. I work performance. I started out working Butch Queen Vogue Femme.
Really?
Yeah.
And how was that for you? Like, what made you trans over to Femme Queen?
You know, I guess I just always wanted to be a woman. So it was kind of like once I got into the ballroom scene and saw a lot of women that already transitioned, it was a lot easier. Like, oh, this can be done. So that's why I did it.
Okay.
And I think I booked Butch Queen Vogue Femme for about 3 years, 2 years, 3 years.
Was you hot for the category? Like, was you slaying the Butch Queens and the Vogue Femmes? You were so...
Yes. Well, everybody knows my ex was Kevin.
Allure.
Yes.
I was going to get to that.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
Yeah, so I was nominated for Vogue Femme of the Year, I think 97 and 98. I lost to him because he won both years.
Okay.
We won Team Performance of the Year. That's what we were known for, team performance.
Now, what happened with that relationship and how, do you think the ballroom has something to do with, messing that up?
No. We never let the ballroom scene come in between us. It was a mutual breakup, so to speak. Or it definitely didn't have anything to do with the ballroom scene.
Oh, yeah, still cordial to this day?
Yeah, I got his name tattooed on my arm.
Okay.
And, yeah, he had a New Year's Eve party this past New Year's, and I was there. We're great friends. We speak, not every day, but once a week.
Once a week. Now, I just want to say, Tamara, you have 2 lovely kids. Lovely. They was adorable. Now, I wanted to ask you about that.
Okay.
Did you do that, like, had your babies before you trans over to Femme Queen?
No. I was in a relationship with the dyke for 4 years. Mm-hmm. And we had kids.
Okay. How does that work? I'm just curious. Like, is it, like, weird? I'm just saying, for people who just think,
Right. It's not really weird. At first, it was a lot of adjusting to, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of people out here, and it's a lot of parents, a lot of kids that don't have parents that love them. They don't even have one parent.
Right.
So the fact that my son has 2 parents that love him just makes him above the rest, so to speak. So, it like I said, it was a transition. It was a lot that we were going through, but at the end of the day, I'm his parent. No matter what he calls me, he knows I'm his father.
Okay.
He calls me Mimi. He doesn't call me Daddy or anything like that.
That's cute, Mimi.
Right.
Okay. Now, back in the day, Tamara, back in '96, who was your rival? Like, back then, for Femme Queen performance? Like, who was, like, the bitch you had to get? She got you, you got her. Who was
when I first came out for Femme Queen performance, I really wouldn't say... I really wouldn't say I had a rival, because I was never really, like, I don't feel I was ever really one of the top contenders. Like, you had Mika, Deja, they had their spurts of being the it bitch. Mm-hmm. Mika, Deja, Yolanda. I was really the dark horse. Mm-hmm. Like, back when the first time they had Femme Queen performance for $1,000, the first time they ever had it. I think I wasn't even planning to walk. I had just got my implants. And who walked? Stacy. You know Stacy?
No, I heard about her. I don't know.
Okay, she had walked in a chop tub.
Okay.
And I actually put on her outfit and walked. And I think I battled Alexis. I won over Alexis. I battled Revlon, Ebony from Atlanta, I think she's from. I went over her. And I think I battled Sandy too. And then the last battle was me and Deja. And we were both Mizrahis at the time.
Okay.
We were actually supposed to split the money. Mm-hmm. But she worked her set. And after she gave me the hug and said, "Sister, we gonna split it," next thing I know, she coming out with ribbons and shit. So we battled. And I got tired. Like I said, I just got my implants like 2 weeks ago. The adrenaline was done, and I just was like, I'm out of it.
You out of it.
I stopped voguing, and she won, rightfully so.
Okay. Now, what was, it was a big thing happening. I want to know the situation with you and Sexy Lexy. The fact. That was coming. I wanted to know, like, what was the situation?
You know what? I can only tell you my side. Mm-hmm. What I thought it all stemmed from was a long time ago, Alvernia had a ball. The category was Team Realness. Alexis walked with this guy or butch queen named BJ. Mm-hmm. BJ had the whole Beijing thing, right? And coming from New York, we didn't play that. Right. So when he walked, I was like, it's a chop. Alexis thought I was trying her, so she came, got on the panel, got in my face. We got into it. Nothing really like stemmed from that. So then, I never really went to Philly because Philly is pro Philly, mm-hmm. So I was never really a Philly girl. But I went to Philly one night, having a good time, and Trisha had got into it with Alexis's daughter. Now this is all speculation. This is what somebody told me. Okay. Trisha had got into it with Alexis's daughter. As they got into it, I think they had knocked Trisha or something like that. Trisha saw me, so she came over to me. So when she came over to me, Alexis started going off like, oh, bitch, this is Philly, y'all. In my hood, I run this shit, la, 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 looking at me. Mm. So she was like, bitch, you got a problem. I'm like, Lexi, we good. I'm in your hood, we good. Right. And she was like, oh, all right, that's what I said, whatever, going off. I'm like, all right. So later on, I'm talking to Ron the Icon. Uh-huh. We standing there talking. And out of my peripheral, I see this bitch over there, like, hyping herself up with her little goons.
Sexy Lexi.
Right. Okay. So then she comes out of nowhere and attacks me. So we start fighting. They like, it's like 2 or 3 of them. They got me on the floor. We fighting. Everybody breaks her up. The bouncers put them out. So after they got put out, that's when my house members, when I was a Revlon, mm-hmm. was like, oh, it's not going down like that. We're going to handle this, la, 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 la. So Angel came to me and was like, listen, Father Tony's on his way. Let it go until he come around. So my house brother's like, nah, fuck Father, bitch. She attacked you. We going to get it in. Let's get it. Right. So I'm like, all right, let's get it. So I go outside. I call Lexi down the block, and my house member's still in the club. Mm-hmm. So Lexi comes down the block. We start fighting. Her peoples jump in. They jump me. And then shout out to, Maurice Revlon. I fucks with you hard. He was the only one that got them off me. Mm-hmm. Then my son, David Illuminati, and his people, they came and they started fighting. They fucked up the dude, some dude named Malik from Philly, mm-hmm. And fought Alexis and all of them or whatever. And that's how that happened. Oh, okay. Wow. So this all happened in Philly? Yes. Wow. Oh, you and Sexy Lexi, okay, now is it squashed? The beef is, I think we hadn't seen each other for maybe like a year, close to 2 years. It was some shit said on Kelly radio station, mm-hmm. That she was like, oh, nobody jumped in. She beat me by herself. So Nicole called me and was like, this bitch on the radio station talking shit, and I know it ain't go down like that. We need you on the radio station. Say what really happened. So I got on the station. I said my part, and it never got resolved. They never came back on the line or whatever. Okay. So then after that, I saw her at the LaCroix Bowl, I think, in Virginia. And my son was like, Alexis is here. I was like, all right, it is what it is. Right. So then my son said something to Tony and told Tony. Tony then said something to Man. Mm-hmm. Man said something to Alexis. And then Alexis came and was like, I hollered at you for a minute. I'm like, what's good? She was like, oh, all that shit went down a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever. We just need to squash it. Can we just be good? All right, we good. So very grown lady about the situation. Right. At the end of the day, you see my kids, and that's who I live for. And I ain't really got no biz left in me. I'm not fighting nobody. I'm not shooting nobody. I'm not killing nobody because my kids need me. Right. Exactly. So I had to be the bigger person and let it go. Mm-hmm. We good. Okay. And right now it is. Like if I see you on the street, if I see you tomorrow, what up, Lex? We ain't gonna rap and hang out together. But as far as like us just being cordial and speaking to each other, I'm good with that.
Good with that.
You know.
Now, also, Tamara, it was a situation when Yolanda had said something about Naomi dying and what the case may be, and all that drama that went down, and then you got into it, Yolanda. What made you get involved in that situation?
Yolanda and Alora were close. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people don't know that Alora used to live with us, with me and my sister Kiana. Okay. So we grew up together. We started out dancing in the All-Stars in New York together. So we like...
Shout out to the All-Stars.
Yeah, shout out to the All-Stars. It was like, you know, so this was like 15, 16 years old. We fought together. We got like a real history. So when the shit happened with Alora, I know Yolanda's character because we grew up together too. Mm-hmm. Not as close as me and Yolanda, but we grew up together. So for me to hear her say shit like that, and then for, like, I don't believe he'll say shit. Right. But when Naomi posted it on Facebook, the actual text message that she sent, it really pissed me off. Like, why you getting at my sister? She ain't got shit to do with this. And then you throwing dirt on her name. That's fucked up. Right. So that's why I kind of felt like it was a shot at my sister, because if I was dead, I know my sister would say something for me, and that's why I said something.
Okay. And are you and Naomi good?
Me and Naomi good.
Oh, yeah, Naomi good. Okay.
Fucks with her.
Okay. Now I want to ask you too. Now I think everybody want to know, because I didn't even know, Tamara, that you had left the house of Revlon. What made you leave the house of Revlon and went to the house of Ebony?
Well, okay. Mm-hmm. With the house of Revlon. Okay. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. It was just that I honestly felt like I wanted a mother's position. Mm-hmm. And at first, I couldn't see myself asking for it because I wasn't coming out anymore. Right. I would go months without even going to a ball. Right. But, you know, I let Tony know that at this time, you know, like, I'm going to start coming out more. This is what I want to do. And I want to be mother. Like, I want to be Mother Baltimore. So I felt like when I brought it to his attention, it just got swept under the rug. Mm-hmm. So, because of the Alexis incident, it's certain members in the house that I don't fuck with no more. Right. So it was a upcoming ball. Everybody was supposed to be walking, and the people that I don't fuck with anymore was supposed to walk the category. And because they were walking, I was like, well, I'm not in it. So Tony was like, nah, I'll handle that. I want you in it. At the end of the day, I wasn't in it. Right. And I felt like it was shade. So I was like, you know what? If this is going to happen in the future, I need to just remove myself from the situation and be the bigger person. And at first, you know, it didn't sit well with Tony, but I guess he realized, like, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. So I left. I was a 007. You know, I wanted to weigh my options. A lot of people don't know Ebony was the house that I used to be at Ebony. Okay. Back when I was a Butch Queen. Okay. So it was an easy transition back. And, you know, I wanted to come back and I wanted to be as mother, and that's how they welcomed me. So that's how that happened.
Well, you know, this was fair conversation already on part one. We're going to come back with Tamara, the legendary Ebony.